Hello everyone, and welcome to a very, very special RuneScape Q&A. I'm joined today by some RuneScape, I'm going to say RuneScape Jagex veterans.
Do we class as veterans
I think you class as veterans.
Oh dear.
I've been here for nearly 6 years, and I've been here for I think about half of the period of anybody else here on this sofa, at least.
Yeah.
So.
I met Andrew Gower in a board game shop, and he said that I'd been here longer than he had when he left.
Oh wow.
And that made me feel, that blew me away a little bit. Yeah. I assume he just stays there in that board game shop and lives there.
But yeah, so anybody who doesn't know, you should do by now, but we have got Mod Osborne on my far left, your far right. We've got Mod Ian, who was the 4th employee of Jagex. I've got that right, am I 4th? Yes. Mod Mark, I'm sure you have all seen Mod Mark many a time before.
14th employee.
14th employee. And we have Mod Raven over at the back there, sporting a lovely purple party hat for your pleasure today. You can tell he wants to die inside. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of housekeeping things first of all before we get into the fun. But the aim of this stream today is to have a little bit of fun. We'll be going over some anecdotes of RuneScape past and what happened kind of with Jagex early on in the early days. Obviously, I've only been here for 5 3/4 years, so I can't really contribute that much, but I'll just be asking the question. Yeah, I know. I got my five-year little celebratory chip
don't know
thing.
that we get little coins or medallions or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, stored on my desk. Nice. Yeah.
Can I just ask, just to make sure this isn't like some kind of spoiler for a party hat rework or something like that, because these are just not RuneScape enough for mine.
No, I know. We had to take what we could get, and this was what we had available at short notice, unfortunately.
Yeah, because it wasn't like Christmas was the other month.
It's more gnome child hat than party hats. But anyway, quick housekeeping bits and pieces, some news and brief before we get into the fun stuff. As you guys might have been aware, I'm going to read this from a news post that's just been published on the RuneScape website. As you might have been aware, last Wednesday, so New Year's Day, there was a bug in the Firework Festival Treasure Hunter promo that allowed some players to re-roll prizes indefinitely. The bug affected players that had not participated in the previous version of the promo that was run successfully in 2018. As soon as we became aware of that bug, we followed the usual escalation process and deployed a hotfix within, I think it was about 10 hours or so. Sadly, some players unfortunately chose to abuse this bug, and obviously that's against our rules. To be clear on this, people who abuse bugs, unfortunately not welcome within RuneScape, regardless of how long they've played for.
Not unfortunately.
Well, yeah, unfortunately. Upon investigation, so this is kind of an ongoing investigation, but to give you guys an update as to where we are, that we have permanently banned 15 accounts, and we've temporarily banned approximately 300 others whilst we investigate further and take additional corrective action to remove items, XP and GP gained through abuse of the bug. So a nice, pleasant way to start the live stream.
Celebration!
Let's get that out of the way. If you want more information on that, that's on the RuneScape news post now, on the news page now. So take a look at that, let us know what you think. One more bit of housekeeping to let you guys know about. We did a competition over Christmas with some polls involved over the Christmas period for activity pets. We have got our winners and we wanted to show them to you on the live stream. So, Mod John, are you ready to show them off?
Yeah, in any order?
Any order, and I'll try and remember which one they are.
Any old order.
Okay, so the winner of the RuneScore pet was Zez by Baby Steps. I think there might be a couple of changes to this. I know, Dave, you wanted to say a couple of bits about how these might be realised in...
Yeah, so what we found out is that pets will probably update on login. So not necessarily with the RuneScore going up, but yeah, we want it to go up according to the amount of RuneScore that players achieve, so that will be part of it.
I think your microphone's getting a bit rustly.
Oh, sorry, I should have shaved earlier.
Sorry. There we go.
Your chest.
Just pressing against your Adam's apple.
There we go, sorry. That's the vibration. Okay. Okay, next one please, John.
I do wonder whether or not to upgrade the armour each time as well.
Yeah, so this is Richie, the money-making pet. Magpie, obviously magpies love shiny stuff. I think it's a really, really good addition. Always wanted a magpie as well.
Salute
yeah, I've got to salute him, yep. And then next one.
Smog of all of the pets.
Oh, sorry, and that was by Carrie Chibi. So well done, Carrie Chibi. Next one, please. So this is Mune, the RuneScape area pet, and this was by Swizzy. This is probably, I think, the most complicated of the designs. So it obviously changes whichever area you go into, but it seems to capture the hearts and minds of the RuneScape players.
Yeah, the idea being that you would unlock the pet regardless of where you got it, but then you would unlock the reskins of the pet if you got further. You unlocked it further in other regions. So if I unlocked it in the wilderness, I'd have the pet and the wilderness version, but then you could also get it from the desert.
Like the Meowsketeer
Yeah.
promo. Yeah, okay, cool. And then finally, we have Artemis, the Compass Deer by Wild Kitsune, and this is the Clue Scroll pet.
And our animators are cursing us because they haven't actually done animations for deer before.
Oh.
Or not, modern versions.
Deer.
Thanks for keeping us on our toes, players.
We probably should have thought of that.
But yeah, this one narrowly won over the Meek the Meerkat pet, so well done to... Wild Kitsune, so I hope I pronounced that right. But thank you to everybody who entered, thanks to everybody who voted. Those will be coming to you in due course. We'll have more information on that in the coming weeks. Brilliant. Okay, so let's get on to the fun stuff. I've got a little quiz for you guys before we start.
Okay.
So RuneScape's birthday was on Saturday, and it's January the 4th.
Yep.
It's his 19th year. And I want you to, I've got some yes or no questions for things that are older or younger than RuneScape. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'll start off with a fairly easy one. YouTube. Is it
Younger.
Is it
Younger.
YouTube's younger.
YouTube younger?
Yep.
Yeah, well, it must be. Everyone else
Yeah.
is saying it is.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Don't expect me to get any of these.
Correct. Also in the chat, yays or nays in the chat as well, if you think it is younger than RuneScape. There we go. Yeah, it is younger. It's formed in 2005. How about the Fellowship of the Ring, the DVD? Oh, sorry,
Oh, the DVD.
Sorry, not the DVD. When it was released in cinemas.
The Fellowship, that's older then.
Older?
That was 2000.
That's 2001 or something, wasn't it?
Younger than
2000,
RuneScape.
2001?
I'm going to say younger than RuneScape.
I'm going to say
Oh,
older.
that's close then. It came out December, didn't it? It was always
That is
December.
close.
It's close.
Older.
I think younger.
Older by 1 month.
It is, RuneScape is older than. Fellowship of the Ring was, I think, December 2001. So
of
it would have been
course,
11 months,
Yeah, of course.
11 months younger.
Went the other way. Not that
Okay.
I'm a big fan or anything.
How about how about Wikipedia? I'll give you a clue. This one is very close. This one is very
Wikipedia
close.
Is younger than RuneScape.
I must admit, did you
must
not
be,
have this in your LinkedIn message?
I
may have cheated
I
on
might
this
well
one.
have done. Yes.
I won't answer this one then.
I would say it's older.
Wikipedia's older than
No,
Say
RuneScape.
RuneScape's
Wikipedia's
older.
younger, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
by 11 days. 11 days.
Have that, Assange.
Okay.
Take that.
Let's let's go for pop
Oh,
culture.
that's Wiki moment.
Pop culture.
He was involved in both, right? He's involved in anything with Wiki at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it
obviously.
works.
Let's have a pop culture reference for the next one.
He's in that film.
Brad and Angelina getting married.
Oh, really? Brangelina.
Who are they? Yeah. Yeah, I don't care.
Brangelina is
Don't really know much.
older because I don't.
I just genuinely don't care.
I mean, I don't care.
Also a valid answer. But they are, in fact, older than RuneScape. 2000 apparently.
Oh, really?
Are they still married?
No,
No.
they are not.
Recently parted.
Although
What a terribly tragic turn of events for people I don't care about. No longer being together.
A positive note to the
let's have a gaming one, shall we? The Sims.
Sims is older.
Oh, it's got to be older.
Sims is older.
It's got to be.
2000.
2000.
2000, yeah. So Sims is older than RuneScape.
Yeah.
How about the Nokia 3310?
It's got to be older than RuneScape. It's older than time.
Yeah, well, you know, bricks were invented
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
early on.
I think if you go through the
it's not a real
civilization
brick, is
tech
it?
tree, it comes
Yeah.
immediately after stonework.
That's right.
It's
That's right.
it's
Iron
closer
Age.
than you might think.
Oh, is it?
But
It's
it is still older,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's 2000, but late 2000s.
I had one of those ones that was sideways that you had all the keyboard on.
Yeah.
I was so proud of that.
I had a Nokia 3310, dropped it down the toilet, still worked.
But the toilet exploded.
Pretty much. And then I think that's all of the ones that I'm going to ask you questions on. But some other ones that were suggested to me were Scrubs. Is RuneScape is older than Scrubs, older than Lost?
Mod Meadows?
Sorry,
Or I'm trying to
this
think
is-
of young JMods.
this was Mod Mac.
Oh, right.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I did hear actually. Apparently, there is a member of Jagex staff who is younger than RuneScape.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know who it is. I need to find out who it is.
go on.
'Cause- but isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy that we've got a
Yeah.
member of staff here who wasn't even born when RuneScape came out?
Who's that?
I don't know. I can't. I need
find
to do a bit of research, but I will find
It won't be long until there'll be people who started working here that are younger than us being here as well, which I think is weird.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to some questions and answers. I think you did. I think you guys did really, really well there, actually. Well done. Well done. A round of applause. We did check beforehand to make sure that that wouldn't blow your eardrums out, but if it is too loud, let us know and we will carry on doing
We
it.
will deliberately blow into the microphones.
Okay.
Oh, we're getting a lot of OK boomers going on. Scumbags, you're all scumbags.
Okay, so I'm going to start with something that I'm personally quite interested about. We asked you guys to ask some questions, but I'm going to start with one of my own personal ones to begin with. What was the first thing that you all worked on when you first came into Jagex, if you can remember? What was the first big project you worked on?
Came into Jagex or
Oh, building our
into
desks,
development?
right?
Well,
Sorry?
yeah.
Came into Jagex or in develop or as a developer?
Good answer there.
Because when I came
How
into
about
Jagex-
both? How about both?
Well, when I came to Jagex, I came into player support. So someone's password request
Okay.
would have been probably
Slightly more-
someone trying to get Zezima. It's like, no!
Let's have a more exciting answer. What was the developer?
Well, the actual one was the Wheel of Cheese. I think that was the first thing I did on the churning update.
And things just skyrocketed from there.
And it's just downhill from there, yeah.
The butter churn, really?
Yeah.
Ah.
I
thought it was
I
this
modified that for the Wheel of Cheese.
Oh, right.
Because you used
okay.
to make a single piece of cheese.
Yes, that's
And now
right.
you make a whole wheel of it, which is so much better.
What year was that, Raven?
2010?
2010. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Cool. Mark,
I genuinely can't remember.
what's the earliest
I
one?
mean, the
you-
first thing we
I
built.
think your answer
The first thing we
correct,
built.
actually.
The first thing I built was my desk.
Okay.
Because
something
when we
started
first started,
computers as basically
Yeah.
we're given a kind of box of parts and stuff, and like, there you go, build it.
What happens if you can't?
well, you
Just ask someone
No,
else
that,
out.
that was part of
We helped
the.
we helped each other.
Yeah, it was part of the
Yeah,
orientation.
like if you couldn't
Amongst,
build
like,
your own
having
desk, it's kind of
races
like,
of
why are you here?
We used to have a few races with the chairs across
We
the
did.
empty offices.
We did with
That was
Nerf
the
guns.
first major project I was
I
involved in.
remember the documentary you made it sound like you guys were working really hard and there was too much to do.
No, it's terrible.
There was. We did our hours back then. That's for
My,
sure.
Okay.
my first year was in customer support as well, so I should imagine it
Yeah,
was
you,
probably
I started in customer support. You started in customer support. Customer
writing the
support.
observatory quest was probably the
Editor.
first
Web content.
Yeah.
Ooh, right in the observatory quest.
hardcore
Okay.
dev that I did, and it wasn't exactly the most hardcore quest, but it was probably the most intense thing that I'd done. Because yes, up to that point it was, where's my rude medium helmet gone, and this person's called me a noob, and
I think
everything else.
QAing the transition between RuneScape and then RuneScape 2 was probably my first proper development job.
That was 2003, wasn't it?
converting everything.
Yeah,
as well,
because I was
like,
in customer support and then sort of did customer support QA for a while and then officially kind of moved to QA. So yeah, converting and testing Underground Pass as well, because we were developing Underground Pass at about the same time, I seem to remember.
that was Tom, wasn't it?
That was Tom, yeah. Yeah.
It was Thomas.
Yeah. Mine was actually quite a big moment. It was the construction news post. The one that had the
The one that just
sitting
said,
down. You
and
went
we
up-
added chairs at the bottom.
So I
right?
remember, like, first week was conversations about how we could stealth hint about construction, which is really good.
Okay.
I remember in the first week also I did my first poll, and I thought I'd change the answers because it was one of the polls was I play at home. We want to find out how different people played at school and things like that.
Yeah.
I changed it to I play with myself, and I thought it was hilarious. And then I got a visit from one of Dan Clough, Mr. Clough, saying like, "What are you doing?" I thought the company was a little bit more informal. than it kind of was.
Let's give a little bit of context. When do you guys all start so that people can have a little bit more context for some of these answers?
Yeah, so I was 14 years ago, which is yes,
2006.
2006.
2006.
2003, I think.
No, you were 2002.
It was 3.
No, it was because I was
I
2003.
can't remember. I'm so old and decrepit.
Because mine 17-year anniversary is next month.
Wow.
So
Yes,
yours
and
would have
you're-
been last year in what? Is it May, June?
Yeah,
something like that? So
early
yeah,
May or something like
you
that.
would have been mid 2002.
You can
I was
start
early
some of my questions for
2003.
me if you like.
It's because I like to keep track of you, particularly. You know.
I need a track being kept on.
Raven, when did you start?
Yes. 2007 sounds about right.
That's 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
I'm doing some quick maths. I think that's about 71 years of combined experience we have in this sofa.
Nice, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Experience is such a broad
Experience,
term.
yeah. Yes. Okay, cool. So let's get some player questions in, shall we? Let's start with one from Mikey, so Glassite. What piece of content released is most special to you?
Ooh, standard.
Secret whiskey drinking going on here. Sorry, I just noticed there's an upturned glass on the floor there. Looks a bit suspicious, but it's not. Sorry.
Give it a bit of
I
smell.
completely ignored what I said there. I got distracted.
Most important content ever. Upturned glass quest.
Upturned glass quest. Grandmaster.
What are you proud of?
What piece of content released is most special to you? Whatever
I
reason.
mean, I think dungeoneering, because it was something I really wanted to do for a long time, and it was a massive project, and we weren't really sure if it was right for RuneScape, because we really kind of lent on these old school traditional tabletop experiences like limited adventuring party going in a dungeon, it not being scripted, so when players went into it they weren't really sure what they were going to experience along the way. It was quite different to what we were doing at the time, and obviously as a skill it was very different from everything else. There was the whole skill mini-game argument, but it was a massive project, and it was something that was very, very different. And I think most importantly, it was very difficult to answer the question why. Like, and this is something I talk a lot creatively. Sometimes you spend a lot of time asking why, and sometimes you need to ask the question why not. And dungeoneering is a really good example of that. Okay. And you know, it's really I'm proud of it now, because when I look at the stats of how attractive it is as a piece of content, it's huge in terms of like one of the most popular skills that we've got. I mean, obviously things like Slayer and things like that are up there, and I was involved in that project as well. But yeah, for me, dungeoneering.
Okay, good answer. I'll go to you, Ian.
Well, I mean, because it's difficult for me to remember exactly when the order that I've done things. Because in the first kind of like 3 years, I was doing such a mix of stuff, including audio as customer support and development work. But I think probably some of the stuff to do with when we changed over to RS2 and we were kind of reworking the game. Because I thought it would be really cool to take some, because we also did the mapping and that kind of stuff as well at the time. And I thought it'd be really cool to take the little square box in the wilderness and make a castle out of it. So I made a castle out of that. And some various other places in the wilderness, because that's where I was doing quite a lot of mapping. I also made the ranging guild as well, which I made at an angle. It was the first build.
That's right.
I made at an angle, which people didn't really like, because it mucked up their kind of like their walking routes. But that for me was really cool, because that was the sort of, the holistic thing, because I was starting to do audio and I was doing customer support and kind of bit of development as well. So that was sort of, I really felt that I'd contributed in a big way at that point.
Awesome. Dave?
Yeah, I usually give it like Elf City or World Wakes, but I think like Hunt for Red Ractuber, weirdly, was the first time like I was doing web content, and I managed to get into Mod Nancy's good graces. And she said, "Yes, you can help me write and design this quest." And as this person who just done quest helps up to this point, it was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna make a game!" Like suddenly I was Peter Molyneux, and it's like, the world is my oyster. But and then I was on holiday at the time it launched, and I was on the forums, and it was positive, and I just thought, that's it, I've made it. I'm a superstar now, or something. It was just a lovely feeling to get a quest made.
Raven?
I mean, I've done so much nonsense in the game. It's hard to pick one. I think there's obviously the daft things of my Easter eggs I've hidden in things, but and I'm particularly proud of the Ravensworn achievement of just how obnoxious it is to get. But
I thought we might go for that.
My actual favourite, I mean, it's still going to be Ravensworn because I have a massive ego, but my actual favourite is probably going to be Pieces of Hate, which I realise is relatively recent in terms of the grand scheme of things, but it was just really fun to work on, and I'm proud of what we came out of it. Plus, it consisted largely of me and Mod Rowley giggling incoherently in a corner because we found a stream of just really bad jokes and really bad names for the, what is it called, 50% Luke. And just changing that.
One of the best NPCs in the
I mean, Mod Rowley went insane and went down this hole of
crossing the beard
madness,
strings with you and Mod Rowley.
It was so much fun. So I think it's probably my favourite.
So there's a question from the chat from someone called Bad Lad. Good name. How did you come up with your mod names? But I feel like for the people on this sofa, it's fairly.
Given to me.
Yeah. Oh, was it given to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't
Had no
have a
choice.
choice in the early
It
days.
was just, this was when
Wow.
you
Okay.
could just use your names.
Somebody had already been Mod Dave, so I was now Mod Osborne, and that's it.
I
Job done.
remember when Lewis started and he got to pick Mod Lino as his name.
Yeah.
And I was so jealous because I wanted my name to be Mod Mumra when I first started. I wasn't allowed
choice.
that.
It'd be so different. wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know. How weird would that be?
Yeah, that you would be Mumra.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But no, we didn't have a choice. We were given our mod names in
okay.
the early
I did not
days.
know
It
that.
was just your name.
Raven, I'll ask why you've chose yours, but then I'll come back to you guys and ask you what you would choose if you
okay.
could again.
So mine was chosen because there was a bunch of us that came down at the same time, and my brother, who also worked here, started first.
Yeah.
And he got to pick his name, and so he picked Crow.
Yeah.
And then when we all turned up, we went, well, there's a theme here. So I got Raven, my other friend who came got Sparrow, and we were supposed to have another friend who was supposed to join us and was going to be, I think, Magpie, but he tanked the interview for player support, so it didn't end up working here in the first place. But we planned to go in as a collection of birds kind of thing. So
Okay.
it came from that.
Okay.
It's worked.
What would you choose now if you could? If you didn't have it foisted on you? Est.
Modest.
Oh.
You scumbag. Somebody's already taken a rater, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be probably a play on the mod, the word mod.
Okay.
Although I'd probably work some stupid thing like some synthesizer thing or video game thing, into it, and which no one would understand, which I'll...
Mod MIDI.
Yeah, mod MIDI.
Mod MIDI. Nice.
Mod wheel. Because that's a controller on a synthesizer on a keyboard.
Oh, this is so nerdy and jokey.
See, shouldn't have asked.
I feel like
Rock
we should just give Ian his own stream. Just leave it.
The ramblings.
Danger.
Don't we want to attract
Just
people
Ian and a bottle of vodka.
to our live stream?
Yeah,
What happens next?
I mean, I've always been known for my giant face. I mean,
Mod
just the
moon
sheer kind of
face.
surface
Mod.
area of the face. So it'd probably be mod big face, mod eclipse.
Moon face.
Mod moon face. Mod digestive. I don't know, something along those lines.
Oh, I wish that were true. I wish that happened.
What about you?
I got to choose mine, and I was one of those ones where I kind of came in and I didn't really necessarily know the culture of Jagex before I came in, and I just went with my initials. I think if I could go again, I probably would choose something. I mean, I like JD. I personally quite like it. I think it's quite short and snappy and whatever.
Makes you seem young.
Oh, it makes me. It doesn't make me feel young.
Yeah, I was going to say bourbon drinker.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, true. Yeah, I'd probably go for something Spurs related. I'd probably choose something football
Mod
related.
cowboy boots.
Yes.
Mod bottler.
Oh, wrong kind of stuff.
Yeah, probably mod bottler. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's go
Sorry,
with
that's a
that.
football joke for you out there.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Spurs is a football thing. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit here in silence for the rest of the stream now. No. It's fine.
As a Liverpool fan.
Hey! Come
Can't we
on!
talk?
Sorry.
Means nothing.
I was hoping that football wasn't going to come
Right.
up today, but how wrong I was. Some people are coming up with different mod names in the chat. So we've got Modular.
Modular, there you go.
That's a good one.
That is modulation, awesome.
Yeah. For people asking about the quiz, we'll be doing the quiz in about.
Mod losers, that's the best.
Well, we'll let it run as much as we feel like it needs to run, and then we'll do the quiz at the end. We've got a special guest for the quiz as well, so you want to stay tuned for that. I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like it, and that will be a quiz about 19 years worth of RuneScape history. So that'll be fun, and that will be on QuizKit. So if you've not enabled it on your stream yet, you just have to click the little button in the middle of your Twitch player, and you should be able to activate it. So get ready for that. So Katie Howard asks, when creating new quests that have character storylines or in-depth histories, how do you keep track of the lore? Is there a notebook on each character's history somewhere, and how far ahead of the stories do you plan?
So currently we have a lore council, which largely. So a lot of RuneScape lore and knowledge is kind of hidden in bits all over the place because people had it in their heads and never thought to share. Some of it has been shared, but so we have the lore council that kind of sits there and remembers and keeps track of various bits. We've kind of diversified our knowledge areas now. We don't all know everything. We know certain areas, and it largely consists of all going around and going, what do we need to know? What happens here? What links here? Which is why sometimes we miss things, but we've got some people who are really, really good at knowing the small details. Mod KOC, like he knows literally every minor detail of lore ever. So
It's like stick a mod stew in there as well.
yeah, Stu as well. Yeah.
Got an encyclopedia of lore there.
It's useful. And the thing is, like, I've been out of touch for 3 years, and that's it. Like, I don't know it anymore. It's all progressed and gone away. Like, so I have to rely on these guys, which is problematic.
How did that work at the start of when? Because obviously, when RuneScape first came into existence, there were a lot of very, I suppose, low intensity quests that maybe the narrative was kind of self-contained.
It was more, it was more that it was self-contained. Is that we had curators. Generally,
We did.
and you would find that a developer like Mod Dylan did so many elf quests, and would have his own plans and documentation for where the elf quests were going to go, and that would be stored. If we were lucky, that would be on the FS. That we could all access. If we're unlucky, on his own desktop.
The FS is the shared area, by the way.
Yes. Yes. And that worked. But then obviously developers started, sometimes leave.
Yeah, it's a key thing is we had such a small turnover of staff. So those people that made content were still here, so you could go and ask them. And even if those people weren't necessarily in the development team anymore, or they were doing other things, they were somewhere in the company. So you could be like, "What's going on with the Watchtower, Ian? Like, where did all that stuff come from, or whatever?" You'd be able to go and
Ask Paul
talk about
Gower.
those things.
What were your plans for the observatory?
The observatory, I don't.
You must no.
Just made it.
You didn't have an
Yeah.
observatory 5 in mind.
No, I just wanted the, you just have to come up with the story, and I wanted the kind of.
We do have
Not too sure.
We do have
that's
some
workshops.
documents that that have lots and lots of the backstory, but it's almost impossible to write everything about an individual NPC. So the approach we tend to take is kind of like, these are the main significant bullet points that this character did, what they stand for, or their emotions, or visual characteristics that are important, so that when those characters are represented again, especially when we're looking at other potential RuneScape games, it's important that there's consistency between the products, but also there's always going to be elements of inconsistency as well. And if you want that kind of freedom for developers to kind of express their own creativity, then you don't want things locked too hard in stone. You want to be able to be flexible and change things around.
Okay, cool. So here's a question which I'm wondering what kind of answers we're going to get. So this is from Meet Dave. He says, "What is the update that you regret the most?" Ooh. I'll give you a little couple of seconds to have a think, and then I'm going to go to somebody.
Regret the most.
The observatory quest.
That's because you hadn't even thought about that for the last 10 years, and now you remembered it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Forgot I wrote that. I'd certainly do it differently if I did it now.
I guess my one would probably be 2016 RuneFest, which is an odd one.
Yes, I remember that.
I would Sorting the Rune would be obvious because I was design review on that, was my second one. But like 2016 RuneFest, I had a little bit of fire in my belly, just been made lead designer. It was like, come on, let's
do all
be
the
ambitious.
things,
Talk about all these exciting things that we plan to do. Bank Bidders was there as well, just to throw that in the mix.
Oh, God.
And I just remember at the end of RuneFest, even when I was full of like finishing it and thinking, I just want to go home. Like, I've had so many conversations with players where there's just kind of like, what the hell?
Well, and bear in mind as well, for the latest RuneFest, you did about 5 or 6 hours back to back of. I imagine you
Just
felt
run
more
on
knackered
adrenaline.
than
It's so much fun.
2016.
You kind of high five people as you're going across. It's like, oh, it's Mod Raven again. High five. Let's go on the stage and do it. Oh, we'll cross paths again. Oh, it's Mod Mark. How you doing? Let's go. I loved it. I love doing that. But it's always, if there's a negative reaction to something you've announced, it obviously gets to you because it's in the moment as well.
Yeah.
So 2016 RuneFest was hard.
Yeah, I will second that. Raven, how about you?
Does it have to be one of mine?
You regret somebody else's.
It doesn't have to be. It depends what the answer is.
Okay, I'm going to say something controversial-ish and slightly mean, and it's going to be the Sixth Age creation of that. Sorry, I know that's you.
Brave.
And it's because it was a really nice, bold plan, but it's caused a lot of confusion that I've been the one piecing together in a lot of ways. So I think, If I could go back and tweak it, I probably would.
Okay. So not I suppose not the sixth age, but the problem that the sixth age caused you when going back to try and retrofit things.
It's more that it's the sort of the thing that I've had to sort of stitch around and tweak in, and then it's always been a kind of little avenue of confusion for some players.
Okay.
And I think I would have tweaked it. Sorry, Dave.
Mark?
I mean, mine are going to be the big controversial things that we've done, right? Sorry?
Sorry, what?
What was that? I'm not even sure what you
Sips
said
tea.
So it's not necessarily the nature of the content that we added to the game, but the way we added it.
Yeah.
So
I know
I
where you're
would
going
say removal of the wilderness, free trade, that kind of stuff. The motivations behind doing it, I still stand by, and it's often the case with RuneScape, and I think this is very much linked to what James was just talking about. It's ramifications of changes in the future. Yeah. You don't necessarily think about how it's going to affect the game in the long term. Free trade wilderness, we spent years adding things to the game that were untradeable, weaponry, that functioned in certain ways, and then when we brought the wilderness back, that should have always been a thought in our heads. Maybe we'll find a way of dealing with this kind of gold farming, botting issues in the future, so let's not design ourselves into a corner so that if they do come back, we're going to struggle to do so.
Yeah.
And I think that the wilderness and PvP suffered dramatically in that period of time, and even though we brought things back, it was never quite the same. And so thinking about when we did that, how we did it, and what that might look like in the future, if we found some other ways of dealing with the issues that made us take it away in the first place, that would be my first one. The second one would be EOC. That's probably what everyone's waiting for me to say. Again, I stand behind the reasons why we did it at the time. But the comfort blanket, the kind of safety, the kind of muscle reaction, the muscle memory that you have when you play RuneScape, you just expect things to function in a certain way. And making such a dramatic change and not bringing people along on that journey or preserving the way that they played the game before was a massive mistake. Yeah. And we know that now, and we kind of recognise that a few years on.
I think legacy mode was a real big, that was probably the biggest thing I think we've done for RuneScape to bring.
But how much faith did we lose in that period of time? Like, you can't get that back. I'm super pleased that Old School's doing so well and doing everything that they're doing, and but there were just fundamental things that we should have thought about in a different way. And the company at the time, it's very positive. We were all looking at the stats, and I've talked about this hugely in the past. Yeah. Number one reason to leave the game, combat system, every time. So got to do something dramatic, got to find some way of improving that, but not at the expense of the way that people played the game before. Yeah. And I think you could apply that logic to RuneScape 3 new interface systems as well, when there's not enough of that kind of preserving, and not even things that as designers we would say that's a great piece of design. It's just that's the way it is. Don't stop trying to change the world, because you don't need to.
It's all that sort of hindsight thing. I remember going back to the thing I was at the time, the Sigma thing. I was one of the most adamantly on board, going, "This is amazing! Yeah. I'm so excited for this." But it's all that kind of hindsight things that is led them from. EOC at the time, I was like, yes. I mean, I still am a bit. I like EOC, but it's had effects.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020, as they say.
That's so on point. It hurt me.
I'm glad you got it. Ian, you said observatory. Is that your final answer?
Wow. I mean, being a muso, you get quite you get quite critical about your own work. So I could say everything that I've ever written musically, but I mean, that's a silly answer. But, there are certain things that I'd like to have gone back and done differently with some of the tracks that I've written. Yeah. I can't really say that was, a real disappointment to me or anything like that. It's small things along the journey. It's like, I should have tweaked that. I should have not. There's a wailing kind of this sort of floppy sounding trumpet that's it's used in Scapes main, which to this day, absolutely gets my back up. I hate
steak
I
main
can't
floppy
stand it.
Tell us what a floppy sound is. Ian.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
I mean, that, you know, it's because of the kind of limitations that we had at the time. So, you know, there you go.
That brings me on to a really good question, actually, that was mentioned by Pseudo Bash, actually. So what examples of kind of in-house limitations, particularly in the early days, did we have sort of honest that meant that we had to do something perhaps out of the box to get something done? I know the kind of the general one is frying bacon was the sound.
Yeah, I mean,
of-
audio was huge because we only had
Yeah.
a 60 kilobyte file size limit for the songs, which is nothing, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't working with sort of, you know, our own sampled recordings. We had a bank of sounds basically that we could use for the music, but I was only allowed 60k for the songs, and I remember wrote one which was 150k, and I had to cut it into 3, which wasn't great. You know, and the same with the sound effects. It was when the very first sound effects, they introduced actual lag into the game. So I used to do this little trick, and I made the sounds less than 100 milliseconds each because I used to kind of keep the camera spinning, and then like playing a sound, and it would go spin, and it would kind of like step and jerk round each time. So every time you hit a sword and it went, it would go, stop the game, stop the game.
Wow.
So it was real-time,
Yeah.
literal lag, which was introduced, which was, you know, I mean, demoralising really for an audio
Yeah.
designer. But, you know, we got over it in the end, and then things improved.
Okay.
But yeah, that was massive for me.
Wow. Any other examples of times where we've had to be a little bit outside of the box due to limitations of?
I mean,
Yeah, all the time.
original whip, right? I mean, we talk about originally developers were all sharing the same development stream, so everyone was working on stuff all at the same time. So it's not like
Rebooting
here
the
is my
same
version
world.
of the world. I'm working on my quest, and it's not going to affect anybody else in development until I've finished it.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. Everyone was, it was all live all at the same time. So it meant that naturally pieces of content were much more self-contained because you couldn't be working on something at the same time as somebody else because you're like undoing and redoing each other's code as you're writing it.
I remember doing that, and what you'd have to do is you have to either go up and speak to the person and say, let me know when I can change that file.
Yeah.
Or you'd go, but I also remember those
Shout
moments when
across it.
someone would break login, so the core part of the game that means nothing runs, and then they'd go off on lunch or go home.
The whole office is like, I can't actually do anything.
any work.
I can imagine that being just the worst feeling. Like, I don't know what would be worse, being the person that broke it for everybody or the person that wasn't able to complete all of the work that they put in.
I
And there
remember
are some
when I,
scary people that, like, you know, if you break the game so Mod Ash can't work, you know, what are you going to do? Like,
I mean, they don't know the Modash back then. The Modash now is chill. The Modash back
It's always
then.
chill. I'm not
He
watching.
had moments where
No
he was
one's fucking
scary.
Modash on my watch. All of you out.
oh, we love it. No, honestly, love it. Bets. But Mod John A, you know, you don't
Yes.
get on that
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
That was a sharp sword. That one.
We used to have to share like clients, didn't we, as well? So there'd only be, you know, now we can each kind of like rent our own game world and work on it. But then it was kind of like, you know, half a dozen people would share it, and then you'd be kind of happily testing something, and it would go off. Oh, sorry, I just rebooted, you know, and then like, you know, or you do it yourself.
Yeah.
You'd reboot and you go, oh, sorry, you know, just give it a minute and it'll be back on.
There's,
And so
do you remember
constant
Adam?
disruptions.
There was an item that you could give yourself called Adam. And if you dropped it on the floor, it would kill everybody in the area. And so, of course, you'd always get a new starter who thinks it's hilarious. We're all testing it on a group. We're all going to go play mobilising armies or something together. You just killed all the NPCs and the players as well. And that was a surefire way of
Do you
getting
know
yourself
why it was called Adam?
I want to know. I'm now really worried that it's got some kind of horrible
no
reference
idea why
in
it was
there.
called that.
But it's, you know, it's another rotten potato
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
It was a chef's hat. For whatever reason.
Was it bombs? Was it something to do with bombs?
Wouldn't have thought so.
I'm sure that was like a test tool or
It
something.
was a test tool to kill everything in the area,
Yeah.
because that was important in certain instances.
Yeah.
But it would kill players as well.
Oh, okay.
Adam bomb, yeah, maybe.
I miss some of the spectacular nature of our old test tools. So now we want to hit everything. It just hits everything and deals damage. But I remember at the time there was a tool that we had to attack everything. And what it did is it had these animations, these dragon heads come out of the ground, and then it just fired nukes everywhere. And it's like,
was one of
this
Chris's
is
slums.
so
Yeah, I
much
remember
more
that.
satisfying.
Oh, Amazing. Okay, so I know that we've probably got about another 10 minutes or so, and I wanted to get some more kind of anecdotal stuff from you guys, not as well as questions. I know, Mark, you've got a big pad of things.
No, don't over-egg it. I just wrote some things down.
What's the best on that page? What's the best on that piece of paper?
We've been talking a lot about the 20-year anniversary and some things that we might be doing for that, and we've been looking back at old content.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we found ourselves talking about the other day was the anti-macro events.
Okay.
That was quite a big thing at the time. So, we tried all sorts of different things, sleeping bags and, things over the years. And we wanted to have an in-game feature that was going to catch the bots out, basically.
Yeah.
So there was a 2-week period where we were brainstorming a load of different ideas that we could do for anti-macro events.
Yeah.
And there were the ones that obviously made it into the game, first batch, things like the Sandwich Lady and stuff like that. Or even like crazy things like Tangle Vines and things which were slightly earlier. Mm-hmm. But I was racking my brain for all the ones we rejected. And it just got me thinking, wouldn't it be funny if those things had actually made it into the game? And I dug out an old notebook from home, and I was looking through a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I just pulled out a few of the things that we had been talking about at the time, but we decided
Amazing.
Wouldn't work. So a few years later, we had the claw puzzle where you had to get the evil twin.
Yeah.
So when we first thought about anti-macro events, we had this idea where you would have to find a specific player. So wouldn't it be cool if you could have a look at things that players were wearing, and you would all be in the same area and you had to find each other? So I would have to find someone with a green hat.
Hunter.
So in one specific environment where you were kind of looking for each other, and so when you found that pair, then you would both be freed from the event.
God, that sounds like the most frustrating.
Because
And they're all green with a beard and a bald head.
Yeah. But wouldn't it be cool if, something like that had actually worked? But then we're actually thinking, there's griefing mechanics there.
Mm-hmm.
I could be like, haha, I just keep running away from you.
I changed my
you're never going to catch me. What if I wanted to change my gear when I was in there, or all sorts of different things like that. So that was one we rejected. We had a traditional kind of missing object puzzle. So there was a table, a bit like how the Sandwich Lady tray was originally designed, but instead of find the tasty baguette or find the sandwich, it was which one's missing. So you'd start off with an image of, I think we had it, the original design was like an inventory table, and there would be objects in the inventory, and then you'd have to work out which one wasn't there anymore, and they'd all move around.
Okay.
And we thought that was really, really clever, and then Andrew pointed out it'd be really easy for a bot to be able to
For an anti-macro
spot that
event.
straight away.
Yeah.
It's well, how are you going to solve that? Oh, you take a screen grab, look at it afterwards, and no, that's what a bot would
It's
do.
kind of almost like an early capture, isn't it?
Yeah,
I was going to say,
Spot
it reminded me of
traffic
capture.
lights.
And then we had rabbit holes. So there were a lot of the events were inspired by things that were going on in the place where we worked at the time. So Sandwich Lady was based on an actual sandwich
never
lady
had a
that
pinball
came to
machine
the
in
office. No, we didn't have a pinball machine. That was a hard
That
one.
was
That did not last very long, that pinball game.
Crazy.
So there were lots of rabbits that were around St John's Innovation Centre where we were previously. And so we did this thing with rabbit holes, where there were a bunch of holes. And incidentally, none of these were scripted. These were all just ideas that we came up. I think someone prototyped something to do with the rabbit holes, but it was the idea that you had to follow the cup, all under a cup type thing. But there was a rabbit that would disappear in a hole and come out and come in somewhere else, and then and you had to follow where the rabbit had gone.
Yeah.
That was one of the ideas. Then we had riddles as well. We had a bunch of ideas that there would be a bunch of riddles that players would be able to answer really easily. And that was based on original PC games where to break copyright.
protection,
Do you remember those? So
you had to read it out of a book.
Yeah, so there would be a rule book that came with
X.
it, and you'd have to go to a certain page and work out a certain number and things like that.
Oh, that's clever.
So we were thinking about things like that, or combining these ideas to do with riddles, but that didn't really work because you have to assume quite a lot of the like the language barriers or the intelligence levels or whatever the player that was looking at those things, and it just didn't necessarily work.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, a lot of those original ideas then made their way into Treasure Trails a few years later.
There's
with,
something.
like,
There's
Ridley
some weird
kind of
things about
concepts.
AMEs that I'd always wondered. Like, why so many Petes? Why do we have so many Petes in the game? I was wondering what that came from.
Do you know what? That was just at a point in time. I think there were a couple of Petes that just randomly made their way into the game, completely
a pattern was
unconnected
spotted,
content, and a player somewhere was like, I wonder if all these Petes are related. Like, come on.
Now we're doing Petes.
And then when we did Post Bag of the Hedge, and you
Yeah.
had the skull, Posty Pete, bouncing around, he then goes to visit all the different
Yeah,
Petes.
'cause I remember-
So we kind of made like a family of Petes.
Okay, and Drunken Dwarf, obviously
Yep.
giving you kebabs and things like that. Where did that come from? Was that a real world inspiration? Was it just you were all drunk?
I dread to think what the
I
real
don't know.
experience was.
I don't, but that was on that same list as all of these. other ones.
I was just wondering from that, you were obviously involved in the creative process. So.
Then there was like an I Spy one as well, where it was like something beginning with P or something like that, and there were a load of different RuneScape objects.
Okay, yeah.
Spelled
Future
differently,
localization
yeah.
hated you.
Yeah, exactly. Again, we were just thinking that's not going to work, like for language barriers and things like that. So it was interesting at that time. We spent a lot of time thinking about those kind of things, but also it then led to a longer conversation about general puzzle difficulty in RuneScape, because we were also playing around with slidey tile puzzles and things like that at that time, and about the assumed intelligence level of a RuneScape player. That was a conversation. And Andrew was just like, well, obviously they know how to do this.
Please
this, and
don't correlate
this.
sliding
And the rest
puzzles
of
with
us, and some of us are like, I can't do that. I can't do that. don't say anything. Andrew's like, no one. Well, anyway, there we go.
That must have been when we got the kind of interface editor facilities then.
Probably.
That didn't have that up to that kind of time.
No. This is early RS2 stuff, for sure.
It's probably a bad time to say that I can't do slide puzzles.
I was stuck in an escape room quite recently, 20 minutes doing the same sliding puzzle.
Yeah.
So frustrating. Still can't do them.
Oh,
I know. I'm just
was it
dumb.
the Egypt, Cambridge?
Yeah, it was the Egypt
Ah.
one. The rest of it breezed through.
We did that in...
I'm doing that one this weekend, so don't say too much.
There's a sliding puzzle.
It's a great room.
I will get someone else to do it then.
Make sure you bring a sock.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know whether to believe him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to finish on one particular question because I like this question from Small Iceberg. So what does each person on the couch think is the most iconic thing in RuneScape, excluding the name and the logo?
Oh.
We've done this exercise quite recently.
Sea Shanty
So I've got
3
my answer, yeah.
So Shanty 3?
will be. Sea Shanty 2, I suppose.
Okay.
Probably is. Well, for personally, it is, yeah.
Mine is 99s.
Yeah, me too.
99s, okay.
Yeah.
Raven?
I mean, probably 99s if I'm honest, but I'm tempted to say something like a dragon simi just cause. But yeah,
Yeah.
99s is probably accurate.
It's a weird one, yeah, because we have got the idea of making games in the RuneScape universe. That we've done it with Chronicle and Idle Adventures and things like that. And itemising what is important or iconic to RuneScape is stuff we've done before. So we've actually had a meeting about this.
Yeah.
And we all voted and put 99 up.
See, I'd have said party hat.
It's a big one, isn't it?
I mean, obviously, we've got the exact iconic party hats on right now, but this was the best that we could find.
We did the exercise of, like, can you imagine a Mario Kart in the RuneScape universe? What would be in it? And you definitely have party hats.
Yeah, it'd be like, it'd be like the banana
Bob.
skin or something like that, wouldn't it? It'd be chuck a party hat down to,
Prestige symbol.
yeah. So the chat, what the chat saying? A lot of people are saying party hats. There's some dragon simmies in there.
No child.
It's easy to say party hats
Lone
because
child,
of the
nice.
intrinsic value of a party hat.
Yeah.
Because it has this tradable, value associated with it. Whereas 99 is a symbol of hard work and endurance.
Yeah.
And also, it's a number that you don't get associated with other games. It's a number, it's like bingo numbers, right? Like 99, that is the RuneScape bingo.
So
number.
I can only think of Dragon Ball as being the other IP that has a number that's
Right.
kind of like.
Someone else that somebody mentioned in the chat. It's gone now, so I couldn't tell you who it is. But they said puns, the most iconic thing, which I think is
the
fair.
humour in the game, I think,
it's fair. I mean, I'm not sure I'd say it was the most iconic thing, but I think it's definitely something that is.
Yeah.
What is everybody's favourite pun on the sofa?
Oh my god, the Knights. I mean,
Surviving and
like there's some good ones there. It's just the general theme is very cool.
I remember when we were making the signature heroes and the desperate desperate trying to make Sir Owen work, because he was originally Sir Owen, but misspelt with an E, and it was like Sir yeah. So it was
Sorry?
It was originally a weird spelling of it. So
Wasn't it Sir Owen Ooze?
Well, he's still Ooze, so it would have been.
serious.
That's why it was an E. So it would be Sir yes, so serious.
Ah, yeah, there we go.
Deep.
There was also Sir Owen Sound. It was surround
Oh
sound.
right, yeah.
So that was another Owen
Yeah.
pun that we were playing around with at the time. And I don't know which one we actually. Sorry,
I think we failed to pun at all.
I can't quite remember.
Every time we do the exercise, should we do a new Sir? It always starts with work, concision.
Yeah.
And
Without fail.
I like that we can say it in a live stream and not put it in our game.
Yeah.
There are obviously characters as well, like Bob the Cat, Wise Old Man, always very, very high up in terms of like things that are important to RuneScape.
Yeah.
But also, I think one of the things that we certainly come out from a lot of the research that we do in these kind of phrases that I've been trying to coin. One of them is this heroic mundane, which I think is an incredibly important thing to RuneScape, but it isn't until you start really thinking about that stuff that you start coming to those conclusions. Like how important like I can feel like a hero when I've reached level 99 cooking, right? And cooking is nothing about being a heroic warrior, killing dragons and, saving the day. It's about this idea that you can be really, really good at something which is very, very mundane in the world, like fishing or woodcutting or something like that. And that it has these, like, it means something proper in the game world, not just to the individual, but the people around you and the NPCs that you talk to. Like someone coming in at a really, really high cooking level for a quest that requires a really high cooking level, you're treated as a hero because you have those things. And that is incredibly important to the product.
Yeah.
In whatever kind of lens you look through, that kind of... It's the thing that people always ask us when they come here. It's like, why is that a big deal?
Why not? Why not?
It's a big thing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to let you guys go in a second if you want to go. We've got the quiz coming up as well. So if you want to take part in the quiz, you're more than welcome to. But my last question is going to be, obviously you guys have been here for a very, very long time. I'm going to say that again. But what would you say if you could describe your time at Jagex in 3 words? How would you describe it? And that can be related to the work that you've done, or just the general experience of being in the company, or at least direct that people might not be aware.
Annoys.
Is that 4 words?
3 words. Annoys.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Annoys.
Okay, it's been a long day. Sorry.
It's the classic pun again,
Okay.
isn't it?
I like how you turned it into a pun as well.
My life is, I work on a fantasy game in a fantasy universe full of puns and humour and stuff. So it's not normal, is it? That is the kind of thing.
No, now I get it. It's great that you included the pun in there as well. Dave, what's yours?
Thanks for throwing that at me. Cheers. Genuinely, it's going to feel so cliched. Genuinely feel honoured. Like, if you talk to people about how much this is a part of their life and grew up with, and how long that's been now, how formative it's been.
My answer was comical, but that's a really good point, though.
Like, the responsibility on that is huge, and the idea that you formed a lot of people's, favourite game in some instances, that I sometimes take that for granted. And we take that for granted, and it's fantastic.
I think Runefest is the real big one for that, isn't it? You go to Runefest and you just leave feeling absolutely...
Weirdly, some of the Reddit posts that have come up recently, like the video, this is a photo of me as a 6-year-old kid playing RuneScape, and you're just like, wait, what the hell? My words popped into that 6-year-old's head. That's crazy.
I still get odd messages from Twitter just now and again, like, thanks ever so much for all the music and the child.
You taught people how to make bronze, and all this. As I grow older, the honoured bit gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Cool. Raven?
Now, this is meant in an entirely positive way, but working with lunatics. I've had so much fun working here just with utterly madmen. I mean, everyone on this couch is quite insane. But all the other people who are not on the couch are equally insane, but in their own delightful ways. It's just been genuinely tremendous fun working here because just
There's
everyone.
Brassica and Potterington over there.
And that's amazing. Isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
I know.
really
Part of the
mad.
lunacy that he's
Where else
talking
would I
about.
do
Exactly.
this? Where else would I know people that come up with this nonsense? It's great. I love
Yeah.
it.
Mark.
Oh man, I've been racking my brain.
Go.
First of all, I was going to say nothing interesting happens.
No.
Nice.
Because that is a RuneScape phrase.
Nice.
And if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said that, people would be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
But 300 million people around the world would be like, ah.
We know the Knights of the Sedney
Like,
are really saying.
exactly, right? Yeah.
The chat appreciates that one as well.
No, like nothing interesting happens. I kind of feel like that because it's so interesting. And in the game, when you do something weird and you're using some weird object on some other thing and you get that message, it's because you've tried to do something interesting. and I feel like that represents what we do here.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it a bit more.
Okay.
And maybe
Ooh, you've
the
built this up
answer-
now. You've
Maybe
built this
the
up.
answer is best in joke ever. Because everything that we do, it's like we're the best kept secret. Or the work. It's really difficult to describe, but like everything that we do for this massive community, and the rest of the world, it's like, oh, RuneScape is that little thing, but it means so much to so many people.
Yeah.
So many, like us, everyone in the building, and all the players, and whether it's hate or love or just whatever. There's so many millions of people talking about RuneScape all the time.
Like, you go to a wedding and somebody talks to you and you say what you do.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
that's
like,
nice.
Yeah.
Like
who's
trying
that
to
guy over there?
explain to your mum what you're doing.
Yeah, but you talk to somebody at
sounds good.
RuneFest and then it's just joy and
So it's like an in-joke. It's like a family in-joke or something like that,
Yeah.
where you're talking about it, and people are so passionate about it, but other people are like, what the hell are they talking about? That's RuneScape.
I get that look quite a lot, really.
not even talking about RuneScape.
All right, guys, thanks very much for your time today. Just a quick little bit of housekeeping from me. I believe in the next few minutes there should be a new Prime promotion going live. So you should be able to grab an umbral bow, cape and staff if you aren't already. So head to Twitch Prime, click the crown. You might be able to get some nice little loot. If not, you should be able to do that in the next hour or so. I haven't had confirmation as to when it's actually going live yet. So yeah, make sure you check out the news post as well that we've just released on the treasure hunter bug that was happened on New Year's Day. But other than that, thanks very much, guys. It's been a wonderful stream. Happy birthday. Thank you very much, and happy birthday, RuneScape. We will be heading over to
everyone.
We'll be heading over to PCs in a second. There'll be bonds to be on offer for a RuneScape quiz. We'll be back in a little bit. Welcome back, everybody, and as you can see, I am joined by a very special guest.
Hello.
Welcome back, Mod Shawnee, the traitor. So
Go away.
we couldn't do a birthday stream and not have the king of birthdays on the live stream. So Shawnee, welcome back.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going? How's life?
Life's good. It's weird how fast 2 months can go by, and I thought I'd come by, and I thought I'd be welcomed with open arms, but the stream perception, as always, has never changed.
She's being heckled from the sofas.
Checks it.
Checks it.
I just it's lovely to be back. It surprised a lot of people in the office, which is good, and obviously it surprised you a lot. But yeah, back for a guest appearance and just to have a bit of fun with this quiz, I guess.
Yes. So speaking of the quiz, we're going to put it live in a second. It's a little thing that we do called Quiz Kit. If you click on the little icon in the on the middle of your screen, you should be able to activate it. And if you're on your phone, you can do that as well. And what you have to do when you click it is you just go into Manage Access and you allow access. And what that will do is that will mean that you can show up on our leaderboard. Now, the top 10 on our leaderboard will also be getting a prize. This week it'll be a bond. So all the more reason to play. Who's going to have the best RuneScape knowledge? So let's give it a go. I know last time we had a little bit of a problem when we went live, so fingers crossed.
They're zooming in on your script, JD.
Are they? Oh,
They're trying to.
let's
No,
rotate that.
No, the pads.
You know what? You guys are too intrusive for your own good sometimes. Okay, so let's go. Our quizzes, and we have RuneScape Turns 19 quiz. And
How many questions?
There are 19 questions,
Oh,
one
man.
for every year of RuneScape.
We may be here for a while.
We may be here for a while. Sorry, John.
You didn't tell me that. We can't sign up for this.
Okay, so start quiz. Get ready, guys. We are going to be going on in a second.
Sorry, I have to see the questions here because I have no idea what these questions are, so I'm intrigued.
Okay, and as you can see, we've got this lovely festive overlay as well.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, nice.
there is no snow anywhere in the world that I know of at the moment, but you can imagine that it's snowing wherever you are. Okay, let's go. So, question 1. In 2001, which of these was not an original quest launched with the RuneScape beta on January the 4th? The Restless Ghost, Romeo and Juliet, Shield of Arav, or Vampire Slayer?
Oh man.
There was a cry of anguish from
It's too hard.
Mod
Do
Osborne.
another one.
I think it's Shield of Arav. But it could be Vampire
It could be
Slayer.
Vampire Slayer, but
Okay, so the mics of the people on the sofas are also on, so you can hear their
Oh,
thoughts
really?
as well.
Christ.
So no swearing, please, guys. So, if you said Vampire Slayer, you are 100% correct. Well done to the 212 people who said that. Shield of Arav seemed to be a popular answer as well. So all of those 3 quests were released on the 4th of January. Vampire Slayer was released on January the 28th, so 24 days later.
good quest month.
It was a good quest month. So well done to contestant 855. If you allow access to the QuizKit app, you'll get your name on in the next set of questions. Lady Lucky 13 as well, second on the leaderboard. I should point out as well, the quicker you answer, the more points you get. But if you get it wrong, you lose more points the quicker you answer as well. So guessing won't exactly work if
Clear
you
as
try and
mud.
game it. Total scores, same as before, so but still a long time to play yet. Anybody who is late joining to the party, you are more than welcome to start. You probably stand a pretty decent chance because people will get questions wrong. So question number 2 is facing 2002. So what was the reward from 2002's Christmas event? Was it a snow globe, a Christmas cracker, a Santa hat, or a yo-yo?
Well, it wasn't the snow globe.
I really hope the people on the couch get this.
Yeah.
Santa hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We think it's the shat.
Le Chat. Away from the camera, Dave. You've got a filthy mouth.
He was actually on camera as well.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, they're in the corner.
Okay, so the right answer is, of course, the Santa hat. Well done to everybody who got that right. So the Christmas cracker was 2001, yo-yo was 2004, and snow globe was 2007. And I copied and pasted one of the things that came from the news post on when we launched that Christmas event. It says, "Merry Christmas from the Jagex team. We're dropping some Santa hats today at random intervals in random places. They're just a bit of fun, though. So please don't be too upset if you can't find one. If you do manage to get more than one, then please consider giving them to your friends as Christmas presents. Of course, you can sell them, but that's not really the spirit of Christmas." Smiley face. That aged well.
Oh, that is lovely.
Already reeling from the effects of party hats. You can smell it in that news post.
All right, so well done to Lidless there, who got the top answer on that question. All of these contestants, well done. Again, if you activate allow access within the the QuizKit app, you will be able to see yourself on there as well. But well done to Cornman Gobbles as well, and RS Grimesy as well. So Kendaline 2 is the top of the pile, with another couple of contestants making up the top 6. Roscat, Cambom, and the one Sar as well. So well done, everybody. Question number 3 is going to be about 2003. So what was the first Master Quest released on the 20th of August of this year? Roving Elves, Legends Quest, Regicide, or Monkey Madness? How would you be doing so far, Shawnee?
To be honest, if I'm going to play this, I probably need to scoot so I don't see your laptop screen because it lights up in green. So actually,
Get your phone out. Get your phone out and get the app on.
come on then.
Legend Quest
Is
was
it Monkey
classic.
Madness?
What was the year again?
2003. All right, everybody got that answer?
No, it's not Monkey Madness.
I don't know. I think it's Legend Quest.
Monkey Madness is 2004.
No, Legend Quest
I'm
was
loving the
earlier.
real quiz
Yeah,
feel over there.
It does feel like a pub quiz team trying to get an answer. I'm not going to. You know what? I'm going to reveal the answer. Put you out of your misery. It is the Legends Quest. Well done to everybody who got that right. So Regicide was 2004, and the other two were 2005. And a little bit of extra trivia. Legends
the
Quest
earliest.
was RuneScape's 50th quest as well.
What would your pub quiz name be? I'm curious.
Pub quiz.
Yeah.
If you had to choose a pub quiz name, what would it be?
Oh,
Team of Lunatics?
I mean, the old Norfolk
Norfolk on chance.
Yeah,
What was
Norfolk,
that? Old Norfolk.
old Norfolk chance.
Ah, nice.
Cool. All right, so well done to contestant 1166 and Sledge Dude, Bazaminxa, Space D Viking, Elder Weapon. You can have some fun with me trying to pronounce
I do
some
not
of
miss
these.
this bit of the quiz. I must be
I like
honest.
the plus yes and just the thoppers.
So Kendaline, top of the pile. The ones are Calm Bomb, the Bad Doggy, and Josh Wild, another
The
contestant.
bad
making-
doggy.
The Bad Doggy.
Wow. Oh, no, doggy. See.
Doggy. Okay, this next question is going to be 2004.
Apparently-
So, in what date in
yeah,
2004 did
apparently
RS2 launch?
He's
I'm not going to read that out because I won't be able to read them out in
uncle.
time, but basically the same
uncle's
dates
son.
in May, February, April,
Basically.
or March.
April, I think. Oh, no, wait.
There was a question there. I completely.
No.
When did Oris?
It was March, I think.
What month?
Okay,
I think it's March.
it'll
Oh,
be March. Okay,
I'm trying to remember. I think
Yeah,
because it was.
Yeah.
good enough.
As in the full
Yeah.
game launch.
Because it was
Yeah,
just
because it had a
before
beta
April
period.
1st.
Yeah, I think it's March.
Yeah, it was just before
yeah, it
April
is March. Well done to everybody that said March. And as Mod Mark rightly says, it was just before April Fool's Day as well.
Oh, very good.
Should have launched on April Fool's Day. Just
No, I think deliberately.
So Uncle Sopper, Ragoni, Dylan R091, Schematis2, well done. And then Kendaline's still top of the pile by nearly 10,000 points. But there are quite a few questions to go, so you'll all be fine catching them up. Don't worry. There is a Gryffindor, particularly like that name, in third as well. Well done. Question 5 is 2005. So which two skills were released on this year? Slayer and Runecrafting, Farming and Runecrafting, Farming and Slayer, or Slayer and Agility?
Slayer.
Farming was farming and construction was 2006. Was it not? Oh no, Slayer and farming. I think it's Slayer and farming.
Definitely Slayer.
Construction was
Farming, I'm pretty
2006. I think it's
2005 is the question.
yeah. So 2000.
don't-
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to.
I don't think it was farming.
Oh, do you not?
No.
Oh, is
Farming-
it
I want to say farming and
Farming
Slayer.
was
I'm pretty
later.
sure.
So Slayer and whatever the Slayer and.
Runecraft was it?
Oh, I'm enjoying
Maybe.
being the quizmaster here.
Farming Slayer. Farming Slayer. I'm sticking with.
Okay, Dave, you would be utterly correct.
Oh,
It's Farming and Slayer.
I love it.
Well done to the 365 of you that got that right.
So I remember you're right.
Slayer was released on January the 26th, Farming the 11th of July. Farming was also the first member's skill.
Haha.
So well done to Dylan R. Oh, we've been at the top of the pile a couple of times now, Dylan. Well done. XXRE91 and Wanth RS as well, along with a couple of other contestants. Kendaline's still top of the pile. Mumphy's gone up to second. Well done. The Bad Doggy, Shawnee's favourite, is
Outlaw was
fifth.
the first members only skill.
You're getting some disputing here.
Oh.
Come on, chat. Tell us if he's
RuneScape
my
Wiki.
journey's wrong.
There's Wiki people in here. Come on.
Outlaw and
Well, I mean, I got it from the
way,
wiki,
way,
so
way.
So I'm hoping they'll verify that. Okay, let's
Outlaw.
brush over that if it wasn't correct. It's still the right answer. It's still the right answer. So it's those two skills are still released in that year. Guys, if you haven't joined the quiz yet, you can do. All you have to do is click the little quiz kit icon in the middle of your screen and then allow access, and you'll be able to take part. There's still plenty of time to catch up.
Was Herblo really released before farming?
Yeah,
It's all drops.
yeah.
How the hell did you do Herblo? Was it just literal
Onids,
drops?
mate.
Druids.
You should have known about Onids. It was all about Onids.
I would
back
love
in
to
the
have
day.
known, but I was 10 then,
Yeah.
so no, probably not.
That was,
should remember.
Druids. Druids in your Neil dungeon. That was a great place for herds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm just saying you were 10 in 2005.
Okay, let's move on to 2006, shall we? How many mini games were released in 2006?
God.
1, 2, 3, or 4? This is probably one of the harder questions that we
3?
will have.
Free,
over the course of the
I
day.
reckon.
What would have been that year?
2006. So.
Pre-Barb, pre-Gorb.
What's the
Was
the
Castle Wars
pirate
in
one?
2006?
No, it wasn't Trouble Brewing or Blast Furnace, was it? I don't think either. Those both earlier.
I'm going 3.
It was lots.
What are your answers, guys?
3.
3.
3?
Oh.
You'd be correct,
Oh, no way!
but you were completely wrong in all of your rationale. It was
Press control.
so the 3 that were released were Temple Trekking, Trouble Brewing, and Pyramid Plunder.
Oh,
See, Trouble
wow.
Brewing. I was right.
No, you weren't. He's wrong.
I can't believe how many people got that one right. Well done, everyone. Oxchange, I won't say the one that's second in the list. Kungra, I Eat Sandwich,
Ooh.
Pride of Myself.
Oh, I see.
Have you seen there's
well done.
disputing going on in the chat? Pest Control was remade 2006.
Ooh.
Spice. Like
Wait.
a bit of spice.
It even had a remake back in 2006.
Yes,
Wow,
it did.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
Technically
because we
still
changed the
released,
spinners.
So yeah, well done, Kendeline. Mumphy, the 1-star Crawling Death. It's all going very, very swimmingly for you guys. So 2007, which of these updates was not released during 2007? Summoning, God Wars Dungeon, Grand Exchange, or the Path of Glaufrey?
God Wars Dungeon. That was
Summoning.
2000.
Summoning was 2008. Because Old School's backup copy was 2007,
He's right.
which is before Summoning.
of course.
That's right.
It's 2008.
Yeah, summoning.
Well thought.
Yes!
He's got some sound logic
Yes!
there. And he is, of course,
He
correct.
was only 11, but he knew.
No, because it's the one thing that makes Old School stand out to me I always remember it being released just before the Grand Exchange at the time, and also the release of Summoning.
Yeah.
Because obviously
Yeah, all right, I'll get you a medal.
I've missed this, Dave.
What do you want from me? Jeez.
Okay,
Calm
well
down,
done.
son. I don't want to have to send you to you.
Well done to Pride of Myself, Arahan 5, Captain GGWP, and I Eat Sandwich. Good name. Kendeline still top of the pile by a cool 22,000. It's not to say it's
one answer, like one full answer.
Yeah, one answer wrong, one answer correct, and you'll be overtaking them. Space D Viking, Mumphy, Sritak, and these Crawling Death as well, also making up the top 5. Question 8, I think. Who do you speak to in order to start Wild Gothic Sleeps, released on November 26th of this year? Ivy Sophista, Radimus Urkel, Reldo, or Therisk Semphia?
Titan names. They're all Titan names.
I want to say Reldo, but I feel like Reldo's
It's
too
not,
obvious.
it's
not Reldo.
Isn't it Farisk?
Urkel?
Farisk, isn't it?
What are the names again?
Radimus Urkel, Ivy Sophista, Therisk Semphia, Reldo.
I think it's Radimus Circle.
Oh no! Well, yeah,
Radimus Urkel was-
I think it's Radimus. I think it's Radimus.
He was the main NPC in that quest, so.
Do it.
Radimus.
It's
Definitely
Radimus.
Radimus.
You do speak to Reldo, but it's a little bit later on in the quest.
Yeah.
And it is also the first quest to feature the Stone of Jazz as well.
What was the answer?
Radimus.
Yeah, cool, good.
Yeah, cool, good.
Chaos Freedom got the most points on that one. Again, great name. RPH, Zedron, and Me Messiah. Good one. And Torpy as well, making up the top 5. Total scores. Oh, Kendeline got that one wrong.
Is he winning?
Still winning, but Lizard Coffee is second with 60,000. That's new to the top 5 actually. So well done, Lizard Coffee. You must have got that one right. Mumphy, Space D Viking, and the 1-star as well.
What, Mumphy?
So we move on to 2009.
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay, so which of these was a reward from 2009's Easter event? Is it the chicken set, the Easter carrot, egg on face mask, or squirrel ears?
Easter carrot. It's Easter carrot, isn't it?
No comment.
I've no idea.
I think it's the carrot.
I think it's the carrot because I think the other awards are
I
later.
can't remember.
The full suit. What was
That's
it?
wieldable carrot, wasn't it?
It was I think it's the carrot.
What was
I
your
think it's
first
the
one?
carrot.
It was the chicken set.
Oh, I'm going to go for chicken set. just
Wasn't
out of it.
chicken set like an older graphic though?
It's
I was
Easter carrot.
Oh, what a-
So egg on face was 2012, chicken set was 2007, and the squirrel ears were 2010. So well done to a lot of contestants getting that one right. Well done.
I'm enjoying this. This is good. It's nice
Good.
to actually play in them instead
Yeah,
of
I like
create them.
playing
It's,
with
it's
them.
actually really fun.
And then Kendeline, still top of the pile by 15,000 now. The lead has been cut. Lizzie-
Oh my word! I didn't think I'd do that today.
That's I'm glad someone else.
Can't leave. Can't leave. I can't be anymore.
I never thought I'd hear that today. Amazing.
Sorry.
Anybody
Sorry.
that's currently in the top 100,
Please say top.
well done. I feel like I'm trying to sort of
You're
tackle
trying to-
a mob of unruly drunk pub
It's
quiz
nice
guys.
being on the unruly side for once.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
So 2010. This was probably my favourite question. What was the name of the theme park teased in 2010's April Fool's Party? Is it Wet and Wildy,
Wet and Wildy.
Universal Studios, Wizard Beach, or Sightseers
Wet
Village?
and Wildy.
Wildy. That was Dave.
That's my pride.
Go on, Dave.
That's it, yeah. Forget Elvis.
Where did it come from? How did you even come up with that?
Came from in there.
Wet and Wild
It
do
was, it was
say.
in the post-bag days. It's the only creativity I had. Oh, it's so good.
I did make up the names of the other ones, but
Oh, what were they? Let's-
Universal Studios, Wizard Beach, Sightseers Village.
That's nice.
What I love is the number of people.
But
that
Wet and
still think
Wildy,
Wet
well
and
done
Wildy's
everyone that
real.
got it right.
Was there a lot of them?
Well, but
Yeah,
then
681.
right? It's so close.
Oh, yeah.
So.
But I think it's real.
No username, by the way. Number 1, Camerson. Also, this guy is Barry. Some good names in the top 5 there. Well
Got it,
done.
Barry.
Kendeline is still top of the pile, but they must have got that one wrong. They must have got that one wrong because the lead is only 9,000 now.
We should only do it if he keeps staying in first place. If he loses it, you have to stop.
It's going to be a new song.
He has to hold it.
All right, question 11. Which of these quest lines did not see a new quest released during this year? Pirate, Vampire, Sea Slug, or Monkey? This is quite a tough one.
How?
Pirate, Sea Slug.
I'm going to say monkey.
too
I'm
early to
guessing
do no
monkey.
evil?
I would say monkey was the answer.
Yeah.
They do know evil might be the next year.
I'm guessing monkey.
Yeah,
Okay.
monkey.
And it is Monkey.
Hey.
So, Clockwork Syringe was released in this year, Salt in the Wound was released, and Branches of Darkmire.
Yeah.
Do No Evil was the following year?
I believe so,
2011?
yes.
Get in, my son.
My son.
Our Rockstar,
I'm not going to
Kungra,
get in your son, no.
Remaxed, Contestant 592.
But who is
and
first?
Foosh.
Who's first overall? This is
Oh,
important.
is it still going to be... Kendeline is still number 1. Still a long way to go though, guys. Still another, I think, 7 questions left, so all can change. And this question is question 12, 2012, the year of the first ever RuneScape stream. Which current member of the Jagex team featured on it?
Go on.
Oh!
No, are you going to read the answers?
Oh, sorry, Raven, Ash, Osborne, or Pi?
You.
Oh,
Dave.
I reckon Pie.
No,
I
it's
think
you.
Pie.
It's you. I
reckon it's
am
Pie.
Pie was
certain.
a stream celebrity way before.
I'm
I reckon
certain it's
Pie.
you.
Yeah, Pie.
I reckon it's
Ash. If in doubt,
Good
mod
job,
Ash.
Dave, it's you.
you. Impressive. 8 years.
Really? I was on the first one?
You were on the first one.
Oh, that's lovely.
Part of your head was. you were actually on the top floor.
I was
but-
just cresting.
Yeah.
That's
Well done to
incredible.
anybody that got that one right. Mersey, Air Pieces, RPH. Well done for getting in the top 5.
Oh,
That might be my favourite moment of this year so far.
that's phenomenal.
Kendeline isn't number 1 anymore.
Oh,
They're £15,000 points behind
who's
contestant 197.
Oh,
I really
Is there a
hope
song?
that they either change their names so that they can actually be noticed. Remember, if you do that, then if you click on the thing and allow access, it'll also allow us to let you know that you've won as well. So please do that. I'd like to see what your actual name is, but well done.
194.
Yeah,
they
continue.
haven't allowed the extension
Oh,
to
it's
see their
Black
name.
Fox.
On that note, let's go to number 13. Which 2 gods featured in 2013's World event? Braska Prime and Marimbo, Guthix and Zaros, Saradomin and Zamorak, or Bandos and Armadil?
Guthix and Zaros.
But can you imagine Guthix and Zaros? That would be amazing.
Ship it!
Literally ship it.
Bandos and Armadale, right? Sure.
Oh, and what? It could be Guthix and Bandos, right? They could be fighting in the afterlife.
Except the gods don't get an afterlife.
Well, you know.
It was, of course,
you
the
are
bird
retcon
and the
king.
beast. Lots of people got that wrong.
What? A lot of people got
A
that
lot of
wrong.
people went for Saradomin and Zamorak.
No,
Yeah,
that was
it
the
was-
previous year.
That was the previous year's
Yeah.
one.
That was the most played of all the world events.
What, the Bandos and Armadil one?
Yeah,
Bird and the Beast. Well done to those who got it right.
Braska Prime
Best
best
Killing
god.
Awards.
Well done to another contestant. Air Pisces, RPH, Yogurt Nutter, Pravy the Goon. Kendeline is back at the top, you'll be pleased to know. But it's very close at the top now. It's very, very close. There's been a big change in the top 10, actually. The last couple of questions, it's separated the Scapers from the non-Scapers.
Apparently, that world event was in 2013. Apparently, that's what the wiki says.
Well,
Kendeline doesn't lie.
2014. Let's go. Which of these is not an elven clan featured in the newly opened city of Prifddinas? Amlot,
Convinced it
Ithil,
was
Cymru, or Trahem? Specifically for you, Shawnee, that one.
Yeah. I think we know that one. Oh, you missed the one for us.
What was the question? What?
Which one isn't an elf clan?
Amlot,
What was
Ithil,
the question?
Cymru, or Trahem?
Huh? I'm just not listening. Well,
Amlod, Ithil, Cumru, or Traherne?
Karoo, well, obviously.
That's where the Raven Bird's at most for all the other days, apart from the one time.
Cymru is, of course, correct. Cymru is actually Wales
Grounds
in
in
Welsh, in which the language, a lot of the characters and places within the Elven city.
Oh,
are
lovely
named.
caravan you got there, isn't it? See?
Oh my, Mark! I don't know what to say to that. To be honest with you, that's
Oh,
appalling.
there's a dog bite.
Oh my God.
So, Frithdinas means capital city for anybody who cared. Avoided assassin, got top points on that. Zezima is my daddy. Interesting name.
Oh my God.
Well done to a couple of contestants, RLI92 and Gain as well. Kendaline is still top by 6,000 points. There are, again, a couple of contestants in the top 10. Miso Kasai, WHY... no.
It's called Y.
That's why. That says why.
YHWHXE. Oh, God. I've lost it. I'm going to go on to question number 15. Boss pets were introduced in the... sorry, ignore me. Which of these is the correct name of the new Krill Tutsaroth boss pet? Krill Mini Roth, Krill Tiny Roth, Krill Teensy Roth,
Tiny
Krill
Roth.
Minuti Roth.
Krill Tiny Roth. What the other one? Tinsy Roth.
Tootsie Roll.
Teensy Roth.
That's amazing.
Teensy Roth.
Cool Tootsie Roll.
It's not a boss pet I've got, but I know the name of it, so yay.
I mean, the problem is, as it gets nearer to now, everyone just immediately knows the answer.
I know, it's fresh in our memories.
All right, and the answer is, of course, Krill Tiny Roth as well. Well done to everybody that said Krill Teensy Roth. You're my kind of person. Contestant at the top of the pile, Top Hat
Top of the
Tortoise.
tablet.
I need a drink. Akpa Lolly, Sir Theodore Castle, Air Pisces as well. Air Pisces has been in the top three for a lot of them. Well done. Kendaline is still number one, top of the pile. There is a dogfight for second and third, though. Very, very close. Between the name that I couldn't be bothered to pronounce again and another one that I can't say for the risk that will be banned.
Nice.
So well done to you two. We've got 4 questions left. So again, all can change. But we'll go on to question 16. Which of these does not feature within the Gower quest, which was released in this year? Guthix, Brassica Prime, Tim and Crunchy, or Romeo?
Brassica Prime. And the only reason I know that is because I had Mod Maltaire sit next to me as I played through the quest, and he explained every single reason why they were in this quest, and the only one who wasn't there was Brassica Prime.
Can I just point out, I said B even before you guys...
You did, actually. Actually, do you know what? Yeah, I can't even fault that. Yeah, you're right. It's Brassica, though. I'm pretty sure of it. I've just done that explanation.
It
I hate to
is
be wrong.
Brassica.
Okay, so well done.
It is.
It is. Brassica, obviously, the cabbages are the ones that instigate the quest,
Yep.
and you get Brassica and Godsword, but Brassica's not actually feature in the quest.
Oh, he's mentioned though, isn't he? The cabbages talk about him.
Yeah, he's vaguely mentioned, I think.
Anyway, sorry.
So, hey, oh my god, I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Dirty Waffle as well. Mirage of the Island. Well done, everyone, on these fantastic names, by the way. And then still top of the pile, but only by 1,000 points now is Kendaline. It's hotting up at the top. Well done to those who are also in the top
Amazing.
10. Potato 31415, The Crawling Death, Space D Viking, The One Sar, and everybody else who is currently fighting it out. Question 17, 3 more to go. Which of these is not a district within the new city of Menethos that was released in 2017? Merchant, Port, Feudal, or Imperial?
Feudal.
Oh, it's not
Feudal.
Feudal.
Thing, I like it. What would happen in the feudal one?
What would happen with Feudal?
There would be lots of serfs.
Oh yeah. Not good serfs.
Not
To be
good
honest,
serfs.
with the rivalries that happened in Menethos, Feudal District sounds really good for that, actually. A bit of feud in between the Emperor and so on and so
We
forth.
could have more reputation to Menethos. People like that, right?
I'll tell you what, you're in one of those moods, aren't you? Oh my god! Oh my god!
So feudal was, of course, the right answer. That is the most correct answer in terms of the most people that got that right so far. So maybe it's
Yeah,
recency.
because it was like yesterday.
Yeah. Well done to everybody who is in the top 10 in this. I'm going to shout out some great great names. Horse Meat, Remaxed, Ox James.
Sorry,
They've
not
not had a
that
shout out yet.
that's
Well
the
done,
thing.
guys. Pink Maple as well. Oh, we have a new leader, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
YHWH_X. Well done. Kendaline is number 2. Number 3 is the name that I can't say. Number 4 is the One Sar. Space 5 is Space D Viking, and we are With 2 questions to go, it is still very, very tight to
Who's
anybody's
last?
game.
Who's in last place?
Well, look at the Twitch chat. People seem to be celebrating the fact that almost last.
In 2018, who is the owner of the newly opened player-owned farm? Granny Potterington, Grandmother Spotterington, Nanny Squatterington, Nana Nutterington.
And now you've got your next expansion to us out.
I'm not commissioning any content with squattering.
And yet I'm going to try and
Wait, not
sneak in the
even
game now.
You know what?
April Fools. Why not?
Oh yeah.
I made this quiz before Christmas, and I didn't know who was going to be on the sofas for this stream.
quite well,
So,
really.
yeah, I apologise in advance that these have been quite easy for the people on the sofas because they've been most of the answers.
I mean, I think we've done really well, to be honest with you.
Believe it or not, there were some people that went for Nanny Squatterington, but Granny Potterington is the right answer. So well done to everybody there.
Apparently it's
Zezima
not
is
the
my
right
daddy.
answer.
Is that got the most amount of points on that one? Prove
Isn't
the
the answer
prove the
the
goo.
player?
Technically,
Yeah.
eventually, yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, like,
Semantics, I suppose. Yeah.
you say you don't want Squatterington, agility course, Granny Squatterington.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so.
Player-owned agility course.
Why don't we see more content from you, Jeremy?
Oh, we have probably a 2-3-way fight for first at the moment with YHWH forward.
One more to go,
underscore
JD.
X.
One more to go.
The one, so Kendaline is out of the top 3, number 4. There is still places up for grabs in the top 10 though. Daryl Wes, number 10, clinging on by the skin of his teeth or her teeth at the moment. Cloud Gaze bearing down on them closely. So, final question. 2019. Which of these is not an ore added with the mining and smithing rework? Necrite, Rudimentite, Orichalcite, Banite.
Rudimentite. By the way, I've just realised mine is Smithing's first birthday. The rework.
It is the first birthday today.
Yeah. It's not as bad as unobtainium.
Oh man.
That's
Okay.
another one thing that Lino was obsessed with. Unobtainium.
Yeah.
We wanted to put that in the game. We never let him.
Good.
It is, of course, Rudimentite. Well done, everybody, for getting that right. Let's see if the scores are affected at all. And well done to Loki FM. A couple of contestants, Ruble Dooble. Ruble Dooble. Some good people here. And we've got a couple of we've got Tufty, Javexi, Camerson. Well done for getting in the top 10 for a question.
Here we go.
And we have our winner. Well done to YHWH
No offense.
_X. We have FCKing Moneyman. We have the one star Kendaline. Unfortunately, you finished down in 4th, but you led for a long way. Space D Viking, contestant 2585, Daryl Wes, The Crawling Death, Khan Bomb, and Cloud Gaze. Well done for all finishing in the top 10.
Well done to JD for finally saying that name correctly.
Yes. What we'll do is, people who have won, you'll get a prompt on the screen. You can now submit your emails to us, and we'll contact you that way and give you the bond. Going to give that a little bit of time before closing it so that you have the chance to do it. Well done to everybody in the top 10. Thank you for everybody for taking part. I'd love to know who finished bottom. That would be lovely. That would be great. Well done to anybody who finished in the top 100. I think that was quite an achievement. Top 400. Yeah, well done. But yeah, thank you very much for a wonderful stream, everybody. Thanks for staying on the sofas, giving you a running commentary. Thanks, Shawnee, for turning up, for joining us again. We'd love to keep having you on these live streams. Yeah, I think that's about it for today. I think my voice is about to go, so I will sign off. Happy birthday, RuneScape, and thank you very much, everyone, for
Happy
watching.
birthday, Shawnee!
And happy birthday, Shawnee!
It's dead now. Good lord.
I hope you got that.
I didn't get that.
Nice one. Thanks very much, guys.